what I love about the story is that you drew from your experience of popsicles and you drew from your past experience of bartending. You started thinking a little bit outside of the box, but you took your lessons from that. And I think for me, what that means, like wherever we have done in our life, we can take something from that.
Hi, and welcome to Beyond Empty Nest. I'm your host, Jody Silverman, speaker, mentor, and Chief Dare Officer at Moms Who Dare. Every Thursday, I'll share stories of midlife transformation, happiness tips, and dare you to see the opportunities waiting for you so that you can make this next chapter even better than the last. If you're ready to dare, I'm ready to dare with you. Let's get into today's episode.
So my husband and I are in our late 50s, and while many of our friends are downsizing, we've decided to stay put. And a big reason for this decision is that our house is where many of our friends and family come together for holidays or a simple patio barbecuing. And quite frankly, I love hosting and they love coming. And one of our favorite things to do is to have everybody's favorite drinks at a robust bar within our house. Now, don't judge me on that. Okay, we make sure we have something for every guest. And one day, while looking for a fun mocktail idea, I stumbled upon a really cool thing. It was a mason jar. I mean, who doesn't love a mason jar? A mason jar filled with dried fruit and other stuff. And it was called an infusion kit. Well, I picked one up. I took it home. And all you have to do is choose your flavor and add hot water or your favorite spirit, and boom, you have a delicious mocktail or cocktail. I fell in love. So naturally, I did what I do. I stalked and tracked down the company and its owners. And today they are here to share how this amazing company and product called Camp Craft Cocktails came to be. What you will soon find out is that Camp Craft Cocktails is more than a cocktail infusion kit. It's a vehicle that encourages connection, gatherings, and making memories. And isn't that what we all crave? Rhonda and Susanna craft cocktails that spark nostalgia and conversation while encouraging celebration and nurturing friendships that invite loved ones to linger longer. Hand-packed in Jacksonville, Florida, their cocktail kits are made for you and yours to give and gather, to pour and share. They have 4 kids, 2 dogs, and buckets of wanderlust. Welcome, Susanna and Rhonda to Beyond Empty Nest.
Thank you so much for having us. It's great to be here.
Yeah, I'm so excited. I get the luxury of, before I hit record, to really get to talk to you both. And I fell in love. I mean, this little jar, for those of you that aren't watching, head to YouTube and watch because you can see what they look like. This little jar captured my attention because, I mean, look at the goodness in there. And it was just fun. I mean, I mean it. I know so many people, we love drinking from a mason jar, and anything with the word camp gets me because it was my happy place. But I would love to hear more about the two of you before we get into the story of how this came to be and our topic today, which is really celebrating yourself and others with home bartending. And so, who are Susanna and Rhonda? Where are you in the empty nest, journey as parents? Share a little.
Okay. You want to get started?
Sure. We have 4 kids. I gave birth to the first 3. Susanna gave birth to the 4th. And so these 4 definitely have huge real estate in our lives and our hearts. And they are now, I believe, about to turn 32 and 28 and 20 and 11. So they're kind of spreading. The youngest 2 are in college and elementary school. So it's been just an incredible journey. We had both worked with a lot of children in our previous lives and work. So I think we were able to put a lot of that into what we knew about kids as they grew. But it's been interesting because kids don't follow what any other kid has done. They're all individuals and
they're very different. Very
No, aren't they?
different.
Isn't that true? Isn't it amazing that you can have the same parents and yet be so incredibly different? It's amazing.
Yeah,
Amazing.
it is. And I met Rhonda when I was in my, I guess, mid to late 30s, and I guess mid 30s. Anyway, and I always wanted 4 kids. Like that is what, and when I was young, I thought I want 4 kids. I was an only child and just dreamed of lots of siblings. And so meeting Rhonda and combining our families, well, having Henry, and then the 3 older kids, it's been perfect. So yeah, we
That's,
have a lot of fun.
yeah, that's good. And you're running a huge company, a big business. I mean, so you started the company in 2014. So that's 10 years ago. Look, I can do math. 10 plus 2.
Yeah.
It's
And
always a
all of our
challenge.
kids have worked in the company, from the beginning.
Oh, I'm sure. So yeah, so I love that. I love it. Thanks for sharing. So that's what I want to get into. So when I go to your website, one of the first things that pops up is it's a headline there that says it all began with popsicles. And then as you read more, it says, and a desire to build community. So let's share a little bit about the story of your journey to creating cocktail infusion kits and what you've learned. Because so many of our viewers, Susanna and Rhonda, are feeling like a little bit lost of purpose, and maybe they don't want to be attorneys anymore. They're ready to retire, but maybe they're not ready to like stop doing something. And
Right.
I just think this is so inspiring. I mean, parents of 4 children, 10 years of a business. So what was the journey like to creating these infusion
Well,
kits?
we did start with popsicles because we knew whatever our business was, we wanted to work with whole, fresh ingredients. And we thought popsicles would be a good way to get our feet wet because it's a frozen product. And if you don't sell out, then you're fine. They keep. So you can have a fresh product that is frozen. And we did markets for years, and just the community component was really important to us. Like, we are people, we love people. And so I would write on a sign outside of our popsicle market, like, have a story, share your story, get a free pop. Like, what does it mean to be bold? Like, I don't know, I'd have a prompt, a question. And so building relationships over those market years were great because it gave us the language of how to start a small business, just the things that we needed to do, all the while having a product that didn't go bad. I hope this translates, but we worked with a lot of food trucks who, if they didn't sell out, they couldn't sell their shrimp basket the next day.
Right.
And that we got an invitation through social media to attend this incredible music festival out in California. And it's the same people that put on Coachella. And they had an event called Desert Trip. It was just a 2-weekend event. And they said, we'll do a buyout. We want you to drive out to California with your popsicles. We had a really cute 1969 Scotty retro camper that we sold from. So we, 2 of our kids and Rhonda and I hauled it across the state, sold these popsicles, and had an incredible time listening to Bob Dylan and the Rolling Stones. Like, it was amazing. And we knew after that event, okay, life cannot be the same after this. Like, it was just, there was too much. That wanderlust kicked in, and we knew we needed a product that we could ship without it melting. And now I'll let you talk, Rhonda.
Okay, well, frozen is a super difficult category, trying to retail it. And you as the maker are responsible for it until it reaches the consumer. So even if the retailer has an electrical problem, you're responsible if that goes down, even though that's not your equipment and you're not the person operating it. So we needed to find something. So our wheels were turning because the people that do Coachella said, well, bubble wrap your camper and we'll move it around because we have different music festivals in the Midwest. And so I think we were just rock tumbling. How many weekends would we have to be away, and how would we ship frozen
We
product.
don't live in California.
You know, we're going to have to do a lot of effort to get from Florida to where they're asking us. And at that point, the younger kids were 3 and 6th grade. So it was like, how do we make this work? So then I had been a bartender in college. So what I was thinking, I was, wait a minute, this is how like all liqueurs are made. They're all soaked in something that gives them a flavor. And I think, and I had dried things for Girl Scouting trips for backpacking. So I was like, I think if we could take what we're doing and freezing and dehydrate it, maybe it would even look pretty in a glass if I, can think about the rosemary and the thyme and the hibiscus that were in our popsicle, those types of things. So we came back, we did some testing, got the dehydrator out from the cabinet and shared it with friends and neighbors. We got some great feedback. We thought that it worked. And we did 2 markets right before Christmas that year in 2016. And they did really well. We sold them well. And then we started selling them at our local Saturday and Sunday markets. And they just took up all the oxygen. Like it was a pretty easy switch to go, wait, we can ship this. Oh, we need to build out part of our website that allows people to order and ship. And it really just turned out to be a game changer. We took everything that we had learned about popsicles and serving as a food truck and working alongside these fabulous caterers and food truck people, and funneled it right into the next pivot.
I love that story. I love that story. I do. I love to hear how things develop. And I love that you were a bartender. I'm a frustrated bartender. So that's why I think I love
frustrated.
I'm a frustrated because I was a server. Back then it was called a waitress. I was a server and I loved it. It was one of my favorite jobs ever, but I've always thought, I know I would have been a great bartender. And so I always ask, we had a local place. I'm like, oh, can I just do the beer and wine today? Or can you just muddle something? Like I'm a big muddler, but I love that story. And what I love about the story is that you drew from your experience of popsicles and you drew from your past experience of bartending. You started thinking a little bit outside of the box, but you took your lessons from that. And I think for me, what that means, like wherever we have done in our life, we can take something from that and bring it over and use it to spark a new creative endeavor. And I think that story will help people. Somebody is listening saying, what have I done in the past? So, to me, I'm like, okay, dare to think back into your past right now. And what have you done? And what can you do with that? And how can you translate that into something new, creative, and different for yourself?
And I would encourage your listeners to think about not only what have you done in the past, but what has brought you joy. What did you really enjoy doing? Because there's a market for anything. I remember when we were trying to get our first business off the ground, I saw this guy on Etsy. He was selling hand sharpened pencils that were like these incredibly, I don't even know. I think he had made the pencils and he had hand sharpened. I thought, okay, there's a market for everything. Like it was really touching. I didn't need one, but it inspired me. So I think as we age and grow in our wisdom, I think don't neglect the things that bring us joy, because that is what's going to propel you through those moments of, am I sure I want to do this?
I love that. Thank you for that reminder, because that is important, especially in this next chapter of life. It's about joy and ease and flow and enjoying what you're doing. And I do believe you can have a hobby that brings you joy, and you can make a career out of something that brings you joy. So thank you for hitting home on that one. All right. So you talk about being a home bartender, and like define what is a home bartender and why. And you also say the quote tender, doing the quote marks, the tender part is the most important component. Talk to our audience about that.
Oh, wow. Who wants to go first?
Well, I could start by saying the job of a bartender, when you see them out in the world, it's vast. There are so many things around them. Even this environment has a special French name because there are so many options. and they are trying to pull it
Wait,
down
what's the special
when
French
someone
name?
ordered mise en place.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And so they, they're trying to, they have the computing capacity. If you order something, they'll know where to go and get it. And so I think what we've done is say, oh, let's just focus your lens. If you can pick this flavor and an accompanying alcohol or hot water, if you want to do a mocktail, and then a few modifiers, like let's narrow your vision that you can do this. You don't have to be overwhelmed. No one is expecting anyone to be a professional bartender with an entire mise en place, surrounding them.
But
it's just focusing your vision to once you've made these choices that hopefully speak to you in some way.
And I think you begin to build your own, your own place, your own staples for your home bar. And I think the job of a home bartender, even just regular bartenders, like usually when you get a good bartender out in the world, it is incredible. There's eye contact, there's service, there's a smile. And I think when you invite someone into your home and you offer them a drink, like that is, I'm trying to think of a word that's spiritual, for lack of a better word,
Yes.
Like it really is. And you're sharing in this thing that you created. And I think that's one big reason why I really love our product, because you can break it down, like you were saying, into bite-sized pieces. So you don't have to be a frustrated bartender. Like I really struggle with doing two things at once, especially now. It's like, I don't know, my ability to multitask has just plummeted lately. But our kit, if I just have a 2-1-1 recipe where I know, like I've infused our kit, so my base, I'll do 2 ounces, and then I do 1 ounce of sweet and 1 ounce of like a lemon or a lime, a sour. That's an incredible recipe that you can do while talking. You can do your shaker,
I love
and you can serve the people before you, and then enjoy what you've created with them. Because I think, toasting and sealing that moment with a toast is really important for us at our house. So the tender part, I think, like you are tending, even the word barkeep, you're keeping, you're tending, you're building these relationships and cocktails. And it's, we're not for the, if frat people wanted to drink our drink, they can, but it's like when we say slower sips, we really mean it. Like we want you to savor this conversation in this place.
I love that. I never, when you're saying it, it's like, that's what we do. I think that's why my husband and I, we always call somebody and say, what is your drink of choice? And I'll pour just seltzer into a wine glass. Like to me, the glass matters. That's why the jar matters. Like your packaging. I mean, it even comes with a card that tells you exactly what to do with your kits. And I never intentionally, subconsciously, I knew we were doing that. We were tending to our family and friends' needs. We wanted them to feel welcomed and warm, and whether it was a mocktail or a cocktail. And yet for me, I love that I don't have to think about the flavors. I don't have to go out and I have to buy 100 million different flavors. It's all in the jar for me.
Right.
And that's the beauty of it. So I love that. I love the whole tender and home bartending. I never intentionally thought about what we were doing, and we were doing that. All right, so let's talk about what you said. You have a camp mission: slower sips and longer tables. I actually printed out your camp rules. Can I read your camp rules?
Oh, yes, please.
Camp rules. I love it. Camp is more than cocktails. It's a mission to build longer tables where everyone is welcome and everyone belongs. I could cry. Moving. You can sit with us and please share your story. We want slow sips and longer talks, acceptance and a willingness to open your mind to others. Camp wants to listen and learn, to grow and stretch as a company and as the individuals that make up camp staff. Let's toast together as friends. Isn't that what really, and I don't use the word should often, but isn't that what should be in the world? Your camp rules are exactly how life can be if we're intentional about it. But talk about how to practice the mission of slower sips and longer tables. Because before you answer, I want to go back. Susanna, you shared that both you and Rhonda, when you had your popsicle food truck, I love how community is important to you. I've always been a community person. I'm very fortunate to have community, but it takes fostering community to have community as well. And I love how you would engage your customers, which became your community, and say, share a story for a free popsicle. I mean, brilliance. So that leads to the slower sips and longer tables. Talk to us about how can somebody practice that mission?
Well, I think we've all been places where we walk into a room and we don't know anyone. And some people, that doesn't bother them at all, like they thrive in those instances. But then there are some of us who, it's kind of this panic. And I think back to what you said, one of our rules is you can sit with us, like that comes from that idea of we don't want you to feel alone in a room. And sometimes we'll have a dinner party and we'll invite our friends to invite someone, so we don't know them. But I think just creating a sense of welcome is really important for us, especially when you have a drink in your hand, because it's like a sacred time for us. So the longer tables part is, I don't know, you can have, I think, slower sips. And to me, that means there may be 3 to 5 friends and you invite them over and they're the ones you don't have to clean your house for,
Yes.
Just come in. Maybe we would call them fridge friends, they just open the fridge and get what they want. But also we have, a batched cocktail ready, and then different glasses. We have people choose the glass that they want. I'm always buying like estate sale or thrift store glassware because it's just so great and I don't want it to match. And then there are times when we have longer tables where we invite many people, and maybe we do clean up for those.
Yeah.
But I think that's just our mission in the sense of gather, just get together. And if your house is an impediment, then have a picnic, like
Right.
find somewhere that you can go, that you feel comfortable with these people that you love or people that you're meeting. And that's definitely it. And it stems from, I think everybody belongs. We have these good friends. They're older and they've kind of been our mentors over the years. And their names are Darcy and Fred. And anytime they invite us to their house, like the first thing that happens is they put a drink in our hand. And then Darcy will start making her homemade bean dip. And we sit down at the bar, and then she'll fill our glass again. And then Fred's outside making burgers. And I think 3 hours go by and we think, oh God, we stayed too long again. Like that's who we strive to be as entertainers. Like there are mentors there too.
Oh, I love that. I love that. That's what we do. You walk in, we pride ourselves when we get ready for a holiday or just a gathering. We redid our kitchen 2 years ago. So I have a beverage center now. And on that counter, that's where it all goes. We used to have this huge round table, this high top square table in the kitchen that opened to this huge round.
Oh, wow.
And when I tell you, I set that up, I have to find that picture. I posted on Facebook. I go, don't judge me. I mean, it looked like we had it,
no.
right? It was because if you're new to our gatherings, I would say, what's your flavor? Like, what do you like? What don't you like? And we will make sure we have it. So I love the whole.
We need to come to one of your gatherings,
Oh,
Jody.
you're invited. You're invited any day, any day. And here, I'll mix whichever one is your favorite. I know. It's like here. This is. It's not shameless because I'm doing this. So I want to show you like this one, the old fashioned. Hello.
Yeah.
Have me a bourbon and whiskey all day long. I mean, look at what's in that. And then you have the Bloody Mary. Love that. I have the tangerine spritz. This is the one I'm going to do. It's coming up on July 4th weekend. This to me sounds so refreshing. This is one I'm going to infuse next. But I do. I mean, I can't say it enough. And then I got this. You're fun. I have to show them. This is the newest. This is new. This is like brilliant. So not only when you're finished, you have this amazing mason jar, which I do. I drink beer out of a mason jar. I drink water out of a mason jar. But now you have this on your website. It's a strainer and so now my mason jar, oh, could you love this? Is now a shaker. And then you can pour, I don't know. I'm in love. You know I am because I totally.
And Jody, the top of that has the measurements in it. So if you, where we say strain your can,
oh my God,
2 ounces into your shaker.
Do you know, I didn't even know, look at that. It does
your shot glass and strainer all in one. And
it's great for picnics.
This is brilliant. This is brilliance. I love it. These are my gifts for people this holiday season too. And I know I'm jumping ahead to the holiday, but hey, they're great housewarming gifts, right? And you have so much on your website. I just love everything you're doing. I love the story behind it. And I'm really, I do, I love sharing it with my friends and family. So your mission, you've done, I mean, you've done it. You basically have created a company that brings joy and fosters connection and gathering. And it creates slower sips and longer tables. And I absolutely love that. And I really do. I have to, my favorite thing is that it's a mocktail or a cocktail. I love that it can be, kids can enjoy, younger kids can enjoy it without feeling like, do you want it to, without the alcohol if they want. So I love that. I love that.
Right.
What it was, I was just going to say, one of my favorite ways to prepare it is we have a kit called hibiscus ginger lemon, and we will infuse that one with water. And Rhonda makes this great mocktail HGL, and then we'll put a bottle of champagne in an ice bucket right beside it, and so the kids can have the mocktail, but you put a champagne floater on it, and you've got a drink for an adult too. So
which kit
that
was
one,
that?
and it's delicious.
Which kit?
Ginger lemon.
Say it again. I'm sorry.
Lemon.
Ginger lemon. Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great way.
Beautiful crimson color. It's very, very pretty and delicious.
So it's just, we make a hibiscus lemonade, and then it's a light drink, that you can drink through the afternoon.
Oh, I love that. I love that. So that's a favorite. What would be, so that's a great summer favorite. Great summer.
Yeah.
And right now, while this episode right now is airing in the summer. So yeah, so what, give me another summer favorite idea.
Sangria, that would be a good one.
Yeah, sangria is great.
You want to talk about that?
Sure. That one is a slightly, another thing to think about is that you don't want to open your wine until you're actually ready to sip your sangria. So the base of a sangria is usually a spendy version, which is brandy or cognac. But if you don't have that, a lot of people have like a half a bottle left from something and they're not sure what to do with it. So it's a great way to use it. The other option would be a vodka, a gin, a rum, a tequila. We've done all of those with the sangria and it works fine. And then you want to put your half of a shot in with your glass of wine and your ice cubes. And then sometimes people want something a little bubbly on the top, either a soda water or a sparkling water, 7-Up, something like that, a lemon lime soda. And there's your sangria. And you can make it in a batch, like in a pitcher for several people, or just one at a time. So I could have a red sangria, but you could have a white sangria because we could have each of those available to make our cocktail with.
Oh, I love that. I just wrote down to get the sangria because I never tried that one yet. I haven't tried that. All right, so that's good stuff. There's something for everybody, and like I said, and your packaging, you have to order your own to see it, but it comes with the card that actually tells you exactly how to use your Camp Craft cocktail infusion kit. I mean, you can't go wrong with it. It's simple, and your website too shares some recipes as well. So I love it. So I just thank you both for saying yes, and thank you for being on the show. I truly appreciate it. And well, before I get into there's a special gift. So I will share with you that from starting today through the end of August, if you use the code, if you go on to campcraftcocktails.com and use the code, if the audience doesn't know what I'm going to say, shame. Dare on, DAREO. It's in the links. It's in the show notes below. But use the code Dare on. You can get 20% off your purchase from today through the end of August. at Camp Craft Cocktails. So get it for yourself, get some gifts. Great thing to bring to barbecues. Don't let the summer go. And it's a great thing to do, stock up for the holidays. So you'll look for the link below to the website, the code DARE ON from now to the end of August. And yet we are not finished, because Susanna and Rhonda, you cannot get out of Beyond Empty Nest without offering a dare to our audience. So do you have a dare?
I do. You go first.
Okay, I'll go first. Mine is I don't care exactly what the content of someone's dare is, but I think you should dare even if you're afraid. Even if you're afraid that people are going to, what are they going to think, or how will this be disruptive, or this is something you've never done before. There's a stack of reasons, why you might be afraid. But I think when you can be afraid, go ahead, acknowledge that, and still accomplish your dare, the person you will meet on the other side, the you on the other side of that, is going to be the person that's the emerging you. And so if you can, just kind of hold space for that person that you might very soon be, I think you can be afraid and still dare.
I love that. I love how you say the person you'll see on the other side. Oh, I love that. Thank you. Okay, dare number 1 from Rhonda. There you go. What is something that you are afraid to do? Dare to do it anyway. Dare to do it in the face of fear, in the company of fear, because what can happen on the other side of that dare is it can be brilliant. It will be brilliant. All right.
Yeah.
Susanna, you have a dare.
Yeah. So I hope that you will dare to invite 3 to 5 people to your home. Like, that's what I would encourage your listeners to do, is to take that leap and invite someone over, regardless of, if your kitchen is clean or not, so if you don't want to clean your kitchen, find the friends that you feel safe with and invite them over and share a toast. And I think it's something you can do, is you can talk about, your past as friends in the room, your present and your future, and toast all of you, the you before the dare, the you after the dare. But just gather, because it's so important, especially now when we do a lot of gathering electronically, I think.
Yes.
But to have someone in your home and tending your bar, you're going to tend your bar with these people. It's special. It's magic. And I would encourage everyone to participate in that. And then I want to know about it. Like,
yes.
Let me hear
yes.
what you served, like what the conversation was like. I'm just really interested in local home bartenders and who you are and how you serve.
I love that. So dare to gather, dare to be the gatherer, and invite 3 to 5 people over, share a story, share a toast with the Camp Craft cocktail infusion.
Yeah.
Because this alone starts a conversation.
Yeah, exactly.
It does. It's a conversation starter. Have a couple of the jars sitting out there, have a couple infused already. And then I love what you said at the end. Let us know, because here's the thing. Everybody knows what is coming out of my mouth right now, because I do this. We've had over 60 episodes. I say the same thing every time. The purpose and the mission of Beyond Empty Nest is not only to serve and support you in daring to discover purpose, meaning, fulfillment, and fun in this next chapter. It's for you to gain one insight, one aha, one something from every single guest I have on the show. Because every single guest has said something that has the ability to offer you insights to change everything for you. I know that to be true because it was one event, one speaker that changed everything for me. So you have over 60 episodes that can do that for you. So what was it that was said here today from Susanna and Rhonda that made you pause, that made you get excited, that made you think, yes, I want that, or I can do that? What was it? Let us know. You can let us know by leaving a comment on YouTube. You can find me in Moms Who Dare. You can go to campcraftcocktails.com, send Susanna and Rhonda a message. You can leave a review. There's so many ways. And if you send it to me, I will make sure to relay the message to them. But we want to hear. We want to hear your story. We want to hear that moment for you, because that's we want slower sips and longer tables and sharing stories and gathering and tending to each other. That's what we want.
Yes.
So thank you again, Susanna and Rhonda, for being here. I truly appreciate you both. I'm excited to infuse mine. I'm going to grab the sangria and listen, everybody, you know what I'm going to say. Next week, there's a new episode. And as I always say, dare on. Thank you for listening to this episode of Beyond Empty Nest. For detailed show notes and more information, be sure to visit jodysilverman.com. Have you heard of the Double Darers? Well, we're a community of moms and midlife women blending virtual and in-person interactions for connection, support, and exciting experiences. From Mommy and Me classes to soccer sidelines, moms have always found strength in community. And as we navigate the empty nest and other midlife transitions, having that go-to safe space and other women to lean on is a must. Ladies, this is not the chapter to do it alone. Our drama-free group echoes the sentiment of the Cheers theme song, a place where everybody knows your name and our troubles are all the same. If you've been seeking connection and have a desire to figure out who you are and what your purpose is now, then Moms Who Double Dare is the perfect fit for you. Only through the link in our show notes below can you explore and enjoy the first month at half off. Plus, with no contracts, there's zero risk involved. Join us today and get started on your journey of self-discovery, surrounded by new friends who understand and get you. You've sent your kids off to brave new experiences, meet new people, and discover who they get to be. Now, it's your turn. It's your turn to embrace this new adventure. If you're ready to dare on, I'm here to lead the way. Let's embark on this exciting journey together. Click the link below, and as I always say, dare on.